What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today. We're going to talk about this article I found interesting. So, apparently, Phil Spencer doesn't like this console war. He calls it console tribalism. So, the headline for the article says Xbox head Phil Spencer says console tribalism is one of the worst things about our industry. Microsoft's biggest competitor isn't Sony or Nintendo. So that's an interesting take right there. But he does not like this fanboy stuff whatsoever. And it's kind of like, with common sense as a grown adult would kind of feel the same way. Especially since you gotta understand, he's the boss, he's the head of the Xbox division. He probably hangs out and talks with the head of the Sony division, Nintendo division constantly. They're probably good friends. It's only just these low grade, just low thinking, low vibrational individuals who gotta be like, hey, I'm Team Xbox, I'm Team Sony, I'm Team Nintendo. Let's fight the other person who doesn't, who it's just who doesn't have our console that we prefer. I always have this mindset that I love gaming in general, so I'm gonna buy all the consoles at one point. I might not get them all at one time, but I'm gonna buy them each generation. I've been buying all the consoles. So this whole fanboy stuff is mostly like for people who just pick one console for whatever reason. I don't know why you have to have a loyalty to one console. You can't just pick, you can't buy the other ones. It's just weird. So let me get to this article, and this is on TheVerge.com if you want to check it out for yourself. So it says Microsoft and Sony are often direct rivals in the game space, competing for players through new consoles and exclusive games. They didn't include Nintendo mainly because Microsoft and Sony share most of their gaming library, especially like with the third-party games or like the newest Call of Duty game would be on Sony and Microsoft's platform, but not Nintendo. So I'm pretty sure that's why they're like direct rivals. But Nintendo is included as somewhat included, but not really. Most people don't really view Nintendo as included because they do their own thing. Like Nintendo Switch is its own console, it's a handheld. It's not as strong as the other two, so it's kind of like its own lane, but it's still kind of part of the console wars, but not really. Competing for players through new consoles and exclusive games, brand loyalty and console wars for some players dictate whether they'll get a PlayStation or Xbox. Extreme fans have even escalated their affinity for one over the other into harassment. All these dudes do, these fanboy extreme fans, all they do is harass the other side on Twitter, on social media every day. I see people from a Sony fan base who just harass Xbox gamers for a daily basis. They say how much Xbox is so trash. It's just ridiculous how they have no games. They do this on a daily basis. These are grown men, men like in their 30s, 40s, and older with kids. They do this constantly. It's just so disgusting to watch. It's so disgusting to see. Like, you're a grown man. You still talking about which console is better. Like, most adults can buy both. It's like, why are you arguing about which one is better? It's like, who really cares at the end of the day? But Microsoft's real threat isn't Sony, Nintendo, or any other company, says Microsoft head of gaming Phil Spencer. We're in the entertainment business. The biggest competitor we have is apathy over the product and services that we build, he says. And more with this fanboy console tribalism type of stuff like this. It's like you don't see this. You don't really see this in any other industry like that. Like you got McDonald's and Burger King. The people who like McDonald's aren't going to war with the people who like Burger King, or the people who like Coke aren't going to war with the people who like Pepsi. It's only in consoles. Like when you buy a toaster, are you arguing with someone else who has a different brand of a toaster? It's just weird. It's so weird. I have always said about this statement that I think this is weird. Even when I was in high school, that's like the age where you're supposed to be in this console where stuff. I thought it was just stupid. I thought it was stupid then, and it's stupid now as an adult. I still find it stupid. Like, why would I not get both consoles? Why would I just stick with just one console? It makes no sense to me. Speaking to The Verge, Spencer says he finds toxic brand loyalty to be distasteful and despises the idea that companies like Microsoft have to see others fail in order to achieve their goals. People legit want the other company to fail and go out of business. They are happy, like they are happy when other company does bad. They're happy when a company gets a lot of flack on social media. They want these companies to fail. Some people are happy that the other systems console is having errors or issues or glitches or bugs. They're happy that that's happening. You have to have such a sad and pathetic life to think like that. You really do. that tribalism in the industry, if there was anything that would ever drive me out of the industry, is actually that Spencer says. Because who wants to deal with that? Who wants to see that you're making a you're trying to bring people happiness with this console and give people jobs and stuff like that. And you got to see on a daily basis. You got to see on a daily basis. Xbox sucks. Xbox has no games. Phil Spencer should quit your job. You're ruining gaming because it's just weird stuff. He probably has to see on a daily basis. This dude's probably harassed on a daily basis by these fanboys. They're just weirdos. Phil Spencer's team. Okay, so back to the article. If there was anything that would ever drive me out of the industry, it's actually that, Spencer says. When a team releases something into the market for the world to tear apart on the internet, it's just such a brave thing for a team to do. I'm never going to vote against any creative team or any product team to do poorly because I have a competitive product. It's not in me. I don't actually think it helps us in the long run in the industry. Facts. Like, how you gonna say you part of the gaming industry? You love the gaming hobby, but all you do is trash another part of the gaming community, the other part of the gaming industry that's not part of your preferred brand. But you're a gamer though. You love gaming. You're a fraud. These people are just sick in the head. Instead, Spencer says it is more important to focus on how the industry is doing well as a whole. He points to advancements like crossplay, where players can jump into the same games with friends or any console. As way, the company has worked against these tropes or bitter competition, but there is a core that just really hates the other consumer products. Spencer says, "Man, they're just so off-putting to me. To me, it's one of the worst things about our industry. It is. It is such a weird thing to see, especially grown men doing this. It's not like little kids doing this. It's grown men who can most likely buy both anyway, but they want to pick a side. It's like when somebody tells me that they're a fanboy, I just look at you weird. Bro. I just look at you sideways. Like you say, you're one of these extreme fanboys. Sure, you can have a preference. Like everybody has a preference in anything they choose, but when you this is extreme like that, it's just off-putting. It's really off-putting. It is really just off-putting. So this is the Twitter account of that same post, and this is what the responses were to that. Well, most people are going to buy both, so they rally around the banner of the one they pick. Plus, the Xbox controller is weird and dumb. We just know that last part is stupid. It's like some fanboy stuff right there. But I do agree with the first half of the statement. He said, "Well, most people aren't going to buy both, so they rally around the banner of the one they pick." That's kind of like that's kind of what this fanboy stuff relies to. It's just like whichever one you pick first. That's like the one you have a loyalty to, which is weird. So worse than crunching devs to death, worse than turning games into online casinos, worse than Ubisoft's molesting its employees. Crunch is debatable because people are getting paid overtime. It's not like they're just forced to work these long hours and they're not getting compensated. So that crunching thing is I kind of don't agree with that crunching statement. Turning games into online casinos, I don't really care. It's like it's an option if you want to buy these loot boxes or not. It's like if you can't control your own impulses, that's just a you problem. That's like I don't understand this is a company issue because you can control your own impulses. And worse than Ubisoft molest is employees. I was like that's not a widespread thing. That's like I don't know how the Ubisoft people did that. What managers did that to them. It's like hell, because everybody at Ubisoft to sign up, you gotta get molested or something like that. Like, come on, he's making it's so stupid. Crunching devs to death, spoken by someone who has no comprehension into the real world. Nothing happens without deadlines and pressure. Real world requires results, but there are always bridges you can live under if you don't like to have shit. Actually if you don't like to actually have to do anything. True, because every industry, everything you work in is gonna be times where you have to spend like an extra day working. It just happened to me. It just happened to me this week on my job. I usually work 5 days a week, but I had to work 6 days a week this last week. So every industry has a form of crunch into it. It's like when you got to meet a deadline, you have to meet it. So it's kind of like that's every industry. So this whole crunching devs to death thing is so overblown. Why he lying? They love it, but they can't capitalize on it because they are in last place. The PlayStation brand has all the gamers' mind share. Does it really? People are still gonna buy the X. Well, look at the logo. Before I get too far, look at the avatar he has. He has an avatar of Sackboy, a PlayStation mascot. So, wow. It's just jokes just write themselves. But let's dissect this comment. Why is he lying? They love it, but they can't capitalize on it because they're in last place, and the PlayStation brand has all the gamers' mind share. The PlayStation product is a lot popular, sure, but as long as you're making money, who cares if it's more popular? Is Burger King really mad that McDonald's has more mind share? As they're still making money. I would not care if I'm making money still. I don't care if another person's more popular than me. Who gives a crap? There's always somebody more popular than you. It's like who cares? It's like this is such a stupid comment. So they're in last place. They can't capitalize on it. I'm pretty sure Microsoft, at the end of the day, they're still making money. At the end of the day, to summarize it, they are still making money. They don't give a crap. Microsoft has more money than Sony. Microsoft is a bigger company than Sony overall. If you just focus on the Xbox division, sure. If you focus on Microsoft as a whole, they could probably buy Sony. To be honest, it's like it's stupid. Do you guys not realize that Sony does stuff like this too? Remember the Xbox One launch games and how games used to be only tied to your account? I don't know if this comment has to do anything. It's worse thing in gaming we are in last place launching a new console with no first party games, and even the multi platform games play worse compared to PS5. Wrong dude, perfect example of a fanboy created by tribalism. Exactly. Even this guy, he has a Miles Morales avatar. It's the Sony avatar that's making all these comments. This is a perfect example of what he's talking about. This console tribalism right here. This was literally two examples we just read so far. It's console tribalism. It's like the way I see this new Xbox that just released, the Xbox Series X, it's kind of like buying a graphics card, a newer graphics card for your computer. Everything is gonna be play a lot. It's gonna look a lot better with the new graphics card. It's gonna play a lot better. It's gonna look a lot better and play a lot better. That's all I see this new Xbox as. Sure, it doesn't have a new exclusive specifically to Xbox, the Xbox Series X, but it's kind of like it's kind of just like buying a new graphics card. That's what I see this new console as. So, and they are acting like the PS5 launch games are just so amazing that you can't play these games anywhere else but the PS5. There's only two games that's a PS5 that's PS5 exclusive, and that is Demon Souls, which is a PS3 remake, and Astro Playroom. So if you have no interest in any of those games, you can just stick with your PS4 and play most of the games that's on PS5 right now. Oh yeah, and Godfall, which is on PC as well. I forgot about Godfall, but it's not like a huge drastic difference in the game library for launch games. So so they say he fuels the world when it suits him. I have never seen Phil Spencer be part of any fanboy stuff whatsoever. Competition doesn't equal tribalism. Exists through the history of gaming. Empathize with your fans. Get better. Keep pushing. So you agree with Phil Spencer that tribalism is bad? That's like competition does not equal tribalism. That is true. But what y'all do on the social media app all day is tribalism. All y'all do is pick one side and say how that side is so much better than the other one all day long. It's like I can understand if y'all was getting like paid for this, but y'all just do this nonstop for free. And y'all just do this tribalism stuff for free. It's stupid. How long is this video? No, that's too long. Okay. So I'm gonna end this video right here. It's getting too long. And yeah, console tribalism is stupid. Phil Spencer calls it out like it should be. Grown men should not be arguing over consoles. It's so stupid. It's just dumb. At the end of the day, it's dumb. And yeah, that is my final thoughts on it. I definitely hear your comments down below. Leave a like this video. As always, thanks for watching and